Section 31, number 58, we are asked to find two distinct quadratic equations that have these as our x-intercepts. We're told to create one of them that is concave up and the other that is concave down. Concave up means we need positive in front of our x squared. Concave down means we need a negative in front of our x squared. So if these are our zeros, right, this means that whatever my quadratic is, when x is equal to negative 5/2, that's a 0. Or if I add 5/2 to both sides, x plus 5/2 is equal to 0. Right? We are essentially reversing the idea of factoring. This is telling us that x is equal to 2. That gives us a 0. Or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay? So these are going to be our binomial terms. If I put these two together in a quadratic equation, I will get a quadratic that is 0 at this point and this point. So whatever my quadratic equation is, it's going to have binomial pieces, x plus 5/2, x minus 2. Okay? Because when x is negative 5/2, this is 0. When x is 2, this is 0. That guarantees my zeros. So what I want to do from here is, if I want this thing to be concave up, I need a positive in front of my x squared term. So if I FOIL this out, x times x is x squared. X times a minus 2 is a minus 2x. X times 5/2 is 5/2 x. 5/2 times negative 2 is, the 2's will cancel. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. This will give me a negative 5. So I'm going to get x squared minus 2x is 2 is the same as 4/2. 4/2 plus 5/2 is 1/2. And a minus 5. Okay, now at this point I have my zeros. I can now multiply this entire equation by anything I want. Those zeros aren't going to move. Okay? Because anything multiplied by a 0 is still 0. So now I got to get the shapes right. I need something that is concave up and something that is concave down. Something that's concave up, I just need anything that's positive in front of my x. Well, I already have the positive in front of my x. I have a positive 1, right? So this is perfectly fine for my concave up. For my concave down, I need a negative in front of my x squared. I have a positive now. How do I get a negative? I just multiply it by a negative. If I don't like that a half in there, I can multiply this thing by a negative 2. So if I do that, negative 2 times x squared plus 1/2 x minus 5. Negative 2, I then distribute, negative 2x squared. That's enough to guarantee we're going down, but I need to finish this out so that I have the right zeros in the right place. Negative 2 times a half is negative 1, so that's going to be a negative x. Negative 2 times a negative 5, negative times a negative is a positive, 2 times 5 is 10. This is going to be my concave down, and it's going to have the zeros in the right place. All right, that's all we needed.